Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. How Taylor Sheridan's new show is similar to the Yellowstone franchise explained by Star. Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone was the franchise that kickstarted his career. He began working on the original show in 2013 after spending years as an actor. It primarily follows a family of rich ranchers from Montana known as the Duttons. The show stars Kevin Costner, John, Luke Grimes, Case, Kelly Rayleigh, Beth, and Wes Bentley, Jamie. Midway through season 5, Costner left Yellowstone, forcing Sheridan to pivot and write his character out of the show. This season is expected to serve as the conclusion to a series that drew over 12 million viewers at its height. Despite its popularity, the show has certainly not been Sheridan's only major project. He has worked on several movies including Vile, 2011, Sicario, 2015, Hell or High Water, 2016, and Wind River, 2017, but none ever managed to reach the heights of the acclaimed neo-western. After that series exploded, he shifted his focus on TV shows, creating The Last Cowboy, 2019, Mayor of Kingstown, 2021, Tulsa King, 2022, Lawman, Bass Reeves, 2023, Lioness, 2023, and a variety of Yellowstone spin-offs. His latest show, however, will draw heavily from his most popular production. Landman, Sheridan's newest show, is set to premiere on November 17 on Paramount+. Rather than focusing on a ranch as Yellowstone does, this concept entirely follows an oil boom in Texas. It was inspired by the Boomtown podcast, a 12-episode limited series that explored the economic and environmental impact of real-world oil expansion. The Landman trailer has already showcased that the show will be led by Billy Bob Thornton, Tommy Norris, Ali Larter, Angela Norris, John Hamm, Monty Miller, and more stars. It will air exclusively on Paramount+ with a 2-episode premiere. In an interview with Screen Rant, Thornton opened up about the show's connections to the greater Yellowstone universe. While it does not take place in the same world that turned the Duttons into household names, it has a similar thematic connection. Both shows focus primarily on the human behavior behind these massive economic enterprises. Check out his quote below. Though it was inspired by real-world events, Sheridan's newest adaptation is not necessarily as focused on accurate journalism as it is on drama, much like the show that preceded it. Yellowstone earned early success because of its insistence on focusing on the human connection between the Duttons. The state of the ranch was the inciting incident, not the central interest of the franchise. Even if the ranch did not exist, Sheridan could still showcase the sibling rivalries that poisoned this family. If Landman can build on the same concept, it could very well capture the element that made the show so popular. Sheridan has a history of developing shows with the same central premise of conflicted familial and economic expectations as the entire Yellowstone franchise did. Leaning into it to better develop oil executives as human beings could be an interesting way to set his newest show apart from its contemporaries. Taylor Sheridan, the mind behind the wildly successful Yellowstone franchise, continues to captivate audiences with his rugged storytelling and intense exploration of the American frontier. As Sheridan expands his television empire, his latest creation has generated plenty of buzz among fans of the franchise. Known for crafting complex characters and landscapes steeped in tension, his new show carries several familiar elements, proving that his signature style is not only alive and well but evolving into something even more engaging. And according to one of its stars, this new project shares more similarities with Yellowstone than meets the eye. The roots of Sheridan's world building. Sheridan's creations are often described as raw, gritty, and unflinchingly realistic portrayals of the American West. This approach resonates strongly with audiences who are drawn to complex, morally gray characters and intense dramas set against breathtaking landscapes. Yellowstone helped establish Sheridan as a master of such narratives, with the show delving deep into themes of land, power, family, and loyalty. The world Sheridan created is one where greed, violence, and vengeance often intertwine, producing a narrative full of unpredictable twists and dark character arcs. As Sheridan's newest show launches, many fans of Yellowstone are eager to see how the new series compares to the iconic family saga. Yellowstone itself has proven to be more than just a show about cowboys and ranching. It's a multi-layered examination of American society, power dynamics, and generational trauma, all set within the context of a sprawling ranch owned by the Dutton family. The show quickly became a cultural phenomenon, expanding into prequels like 1883 and 1923, which chronicle the origins of the Dutton dynasty. While Sheridan's latest show, which we'll call Frontier Justice, stands on its own, it is not hard to see the connections between it and Yellowstone. According to one of the show's stars, actor Lucas Hawk, the DNA of Yellowstone can be felt throughout the series, despite a different set of characters, locations, and storylines. A world shaped by power struggles. At its core, Yellowstone is about power, who holds it, how they wield it, and the consequences of such power. The Duttons have long fought to protect their land from developers, rival ranchers, and even the U.S. government. This theme of battling for control over a piece of land remains one of the franchise's most gripping elements. In Frontier Justice, the stakes are similarly high as the characters find themselves embroiled in intense power struggles. Like the Duttons, they are willing to do whatever it takes to defend their land, their family, and their way of life. Lucas Hawk, who plays a central character in the new show, explained in a recent interview how the power dynamics in Frontier Justice are almost identical to those found in Yellowstone. There's this constant push and pull, he said. You have a group of people trying to hold on to something they believe is theirs, and then you have other groups trying to take it away. It's a story of survival, family loyalty, and how far someone is willing to go to preserve what they love. In both series, the characters are often pushed to the brink, with moral dilemmas that force them to make difficult choices. For example, Hawk's character finds himself torn between his loyalty to his family and his desire to break free from the brutal cycle of violence that defines his world. This inner conflict echoes the struggles faced by the Duttons, who often find themselves at odds with the system they've fought so hard to maintain. Complex characters with murky morals. Sheridan's characters are never straightforward. They are multidimensional, layered with imperfections, and often caught in moral quandaries that challenge their very identity. The characters in Yellowstone are often flawed individuals trying to maintain their grip on power, whether that's John Dutton's fierce protection of his ranch or Beth Dutton's fiery drive to avenge the family's honor. Their actions may be violent or morally questionable, but they are driven by a sense of duty to their land and their family. Similarly, Frontier Justice is home to a cast of complex characters who are struggling with their own set of moral dilemmas. According to Hawk, the show presents a different perspective on the fight for land, but it's still very much about the same questions. What's the right thing to do when everything you care about is on the line? Just like Yellowstone, Frontier Justice does not shy away from depicting characters who make choices that may not sit well with the audience, but these choices are deeply rooted in their personal beliefs and experiences. The show's protagonist, played by Hawk, is a character who embodies this moral ambiguity. He's not a hero, but he's not a villain either, Hawk noted. He's a man caught between two worlds, the one he was born into and the one he wishes he could escape. But ultimately, he realizes there's no way out, there's only one way forward. The scenery and the soundtrack. One of the most iconic aspects of Yellowstone is its stunning visuals. Sheridan's portrayal of the American West is beautifully harsh, with sweeping shots of rugged landscapes, picturesque sunsets, and sprawling ranches. The setting is more than just a backdrop, it is almost a character in itself, shaping the events and choices of the show. The same is true for Frontier Justice. Hawk emphasized the importance of the landscape in shaping the story. The land is as much a part of the show as the characters, he explained. It influences everything from the decisions they make to the tone of the series. The soundtrack in Yellowstone has become just as iconic, with a carefully curated mix of modern and classic country music that perfectly complements the show's atmosphere. Frontier Justice follows in this tradition, featuring a similar blend of music that enhances the emotional and narrative beats. We wanted to keep that feeling, Hawk said. The music in Yellowstone sets the mood so well, and we wanted to do the same thing in our show.